Amigas y amigos de WOLA, buenas noches. Welcome to WOLA's 2021 Human Rights Award ceremony in Gala. I am Carolina Jimenez Sandoval. It is a privilege to join you tonight as WOLA's new president. Thank you to everyone who is joining us. One of the advantages of having our Gala online is that people can be with us from Latin America to the United States, and even all the way in Europe. Let me begin by thanking some of the many, many people who made this night possible. Our host committee, our generous sponsors, particularly tonight's presenting sponsor, Luminate, as well as the WOLA Board of Directors, especially our board chair, Nancy Belden, and all of you here with us. Gracias por su apoyo. Like many of you, human rights is my vocation and my passion. I view the fight for equality as a principle and a personal value. That is why I'm thrilled to come to WOLA, where human rights and social justice guide every action. I have known WOLA over the years, through its deep connection to partners in the region and through its sophisticated research and advocacy. It is my honor to have been chosen as its new leader. We're living through difficult and complex times. The COVID-19 pandemic is revealing the worst phases of inequality that has long characterized our society. We're seeing the rise of authoritarianism. We see elected leaders use the tools of democracy to undermine the very institutions of democracy. We see racism and xenophobia against people who need protection. Just this week, we were horrified to see scenes at the US border where officers on horseback attack migrants and asylum seekers from Haiti. We will not be silenced in the face of these human rights abuses. On the contrary, we are called to action and will continue to demand humane migration policies. Despite all the challenges, throughout the Americas, we see a vibrant civil society more empowered than ever before, one that is more adaptable to the fast pace of changing social reality. We see movements and organizations that are more interconnected across the region. Groups that were marginalized in the past, women, LGBTIQ+, Black, Indigenous, migrants, who are amplifying their voices. People who were once silenced, now proud to stand for their rights. And youth whose innovative activism embraces the fight for the future of our planet. People often ask me why I work to defend human rights at a time when these values are at risk almost everywhere, and popular leaders come to power, openly opposing many of these principles. I answer, I do this because I know I am not alone. It is true, many political leaders are breaking the promise of democracy, but at the same time, many people are fighting to ensure that we hold governments accountable. Colectivamente, hacemos la diferencia. I am excited to be at WOLA. I believe in its mission and vision. I believe that we need to advocate for a region where human rights are respected, where justice is a reality. I am energized by WOLA's staff, our senior experts who know the region very well, and the young people passionate about Latin America and passionate about doing the right thing. I am inspired by our honorees tonight, the Ethnic Working Group of Colombia's Truth Commission, Representative Barbara Lee, en Fundación Mi Sangre. Gracias por el trabajo que hacen. Ustedes son una inspiración para nuestro trabajo. We have chosen a special focus on Colombia at this ceremony because the moment is critical. The peace accords that were signed in Colombia just 5 years ago brought so much hope. Now, peace is under attack. Social leaders committed to that peace are threatened and killed. People who have taken to the street to speak out against injustice are being brutally repressed. Tonight, we recommit ourselves to the cause of justice, human rights, and peace in Colombia and beyond by honoring people who are champions of these values. I am moved by the incredible community gathered here. Many of you have been supporters of WOLA for decades, and many are new to WOLA. Maybe you are here for the first time. I thank you all for your commitment and for the chance to work with you in the future. Gracias por apoyar a WOLA y por también creer en nuestra misión. With your support this evening, you can help WOLA produce the innovative research and advocacy that allows us to continue proposing solutions to the major human rights challenges of the region. Now, I am delighted to introduce our MC for tonight's program. I did not expect that introducing a Latin Grammy nominee will be part of my job description, but what a great treat we have tonight. If you tune in early, you have already been listening to her amazing music on our pre-show loop. And be sure to stay to the end of our program tonight for our special performance. Gina Chavez has been a friend of WOLA's for many years, having performed at our 2014 Gala. Since that time, her talent has reached new levels of national and international attention and critical acclaim, from NPR's Tiny Desk concert to performing on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. She has been praised as a masterful storyteller of the Latin American song movement. With vocals and rhythms that cross cultures, she evokes the power of taking a stand for what is just and true. Her latest EP, La Que Manda, her very first all-Spanish language album, was nominated for a Latin Grammy. Her commitment to Latin America is deep and it is personal. After visiting El Salvador, she and her wife founded a program called Niñas Arriba, a fund that allows young Salvadorian women to pursue their dreams of college education. Please welcome from Texas, the 12th time winner of the Austin Music Award and our MC tonight, Gina Chavez.
Thank you so much, Carolina, for that warm introduction, and congratulations to you on becoming WOLA's new president.
Thank you so much for being here with us tonight, Gina.
Of course, it's such a joy to be here tonight and to welcome you as WOLA's first leader from Latin America. With your strong experience in global advocacy, your deep knowledge of the region, your extensive connections with advocates on the ground, we look forward to an exciting new era, not just for WOLA, but also for the cause of human rights. I first encountered WOLA's work more than a decade ago. Connecting to this amazing organization has been an important part of my own journey to discover my Latin roots. Through my work in El Salvador, I have learned the power of being a champion for young women whose hearts and hopes truly changed my life for the better. And through my music, I've learned the power of our voices united in song, in passion, and in solidarity for the cause of justice, which is why I love WOLA. WOLA has always embraced a broad vision of human rights, looking to the root causes of abuse and systemic inequities, supporting those who stand for justice, and offering inspiring proposals for social change. It's a thrill to be with all of you. WOLA would not exist without your support. And I want to thank each of you from the bottom of my heart for all that you do for WOLA. Tonight, we have an amazing group of honorees. We honor Black and Indigenous leaders who are working for the truth that is essential to peace in Colombia. We honor visionaries who are investing in the next generation of young activists. And we have the special privilege of honoring a leader in the U.S. Congress whose courage in standing against the use of force and U.S. military action is unmatched in our time. We will hear from these honorees and a distinguished group of presenters throughout the evening. People whose courage brings us a sense of hope and who gives us reasons to celebrate as we join in solidarity with people throughout the Americas. You can join the WOLA community in standing up for human rights by making a gift this evening. You can donate online at wola.org/Gala donate, or text the following to 41444. WOLA 21, the amount of your gift in dollars, followed by your name. If at any point during the night you're having trouble making your gift, please reach out to donation@wola.org. Thanks to the generosity of the WOLA community, we've already raised $275,000 to help support WOLA's work. But we know we can do better than that. We want to make it an even $300,000 tonight. So we're hoping to reach a goal with you here tonight of $25,000. You know what? I think we can do that. Our goal is $25,000, and we are starting the night with already over $5,500. So we want to give a huge shout out to Elena Ribe for your generous $4,500 gift, and to Brian and Peggy Sassy for your gift of $500, and to all of the others who are helping make tonight a success. We can't do it without your help. This is a critical moment to be supporting the defense of human rights in the Americas. And with your support this evening, you can help WOLA produce innovative research and advocacy in order to continue proposing solutions to the major human rights challenges in our region. To kick off our program, let's take a look at the spirit and vision behind WOLA's critical work with partners in Colombia.
Es la realidad que viven muchas generaciones del Pacífico colombiano que necesitan oportunidades, que necesitan que llevemos recreación, que necesitan que llevemos interconexión. Entonces yo sueño con una Colombia distinta, una Colombia más igualitaria.
Nosotros, sin tener ni armas ni dinero, estamos contribuyendo a que Colombia siga siendo un país pluriétnico y multicultural, pero sobre todo que siga garantizando la permanencia de los pueblos negros y los pueblos étnicos en Colombia a través de nuestra labor.
La paz es un anhelo de esa otra población que no ha podido vivir la felicidad de tener sus hijos fuera de los hostigamientos.
A mí mucha gente me critica porque dice yo estoy de acuerdo con la paz. Yo de hoy la que digo hasta el último día de mi vida moriré defendiendo la paz. Yo considero que si todos nos encontramos, todos conversamos, nosotros podemos construir paz.
One of the most amazing things about working on Colombia is meeting people who, in the face of tremendous odds, continue to have a deep-seated faith and belief that things can be different.
As you can see from the social leaders in this video, despite all the threats and dangers, they have visions of hope for Colombia. And this is a moment when WOLA's advocacy is more important than ever. To present our first award tonight, we have someone who has been a champion for the cause of peace and social justice in Colombia. During the negotiations leading up to Colombia's 2016 peace accords, Representative Hank Johnson traveled to Colombia with WOLA on more than one occasion. He played a key role in ensuring that the peace agreement's historic ethnic chapter, protecting the rights of Afro-Colombian and indigenous peoples, was included in the final agreement. Since then, he has led urgent campaigns to protect the lives of social leaders who work every day to make peace possible. Today, he is one of the most vocal leaders in Congress, demanding that the Colombian government cease its brutal repression against protests. He is also a prominent voice calling for the United States to halt security assistance until those responsible for state-sponsored violence are held accountable. Now in his 8th term in Congress, he is a senior member of the House Judiciary Committee, where he is leading the fight for voting rights and for legislation to change what he has called the warrior culture of policing in the United States. WOLA is grateful for the many opportunities to work closely with this intrepid fighter for justice, Representative Hank Johnson.
Thank you, Gina, for that kind introduction, and a warm welcome to WOLA's new president, Carolina Jimenez. I've had the honor of working with WOLA for peace and justice in Colombia for more than a decade, and I can testify to the tremendous impact and commitment that this organization and its amazing staff bring to these issues. Tonight, we honor a group that is doing courageous work to uncover the truth that is essential to any hope of peace and justice for Colombia. The Ethnic Working Group of Colombia's Truth Commission is documenting the harsh realities that Black and Indigenous communities endured during 50+ years of bloodshed, displacement, and terror. In uncovering the truth, the working group confronts the cycle of systemic violence and racism that still plagues Colombia today. Its work offers a path forward for redress, healing, and a future for all Colombians that is rooted in dignity and hope. It's my honor to present WOLA's 2021 Human Rights Award to the Ethnic Working Group of Colombia's Truth Commission. Accepting the award tonight on behalf of the Truth Commission's Ethnic Working Group are Elena Palacios Esprilla and Patricia Tobon. Lena and Patricia, each in their own unique and creative ways, are tireless advocates for justice and peace. Together, Lena and Patricia and the rest of the Ethnic Working Group, you are doing a difficult task but essential work of clarifying the past so that Colombia can move forward towards a future of peace and reconciliation. Congratulations, and keep up the great work.
Hi, my name is Leiner Palacios, and I am a commissioner of Colombia's Truth Commission. Today, I would like to thank the comments made by Congressman Hank Johnson when presenting us with such an important award by WOLA. Thank you also to WOLA. I would like to use this opportunity to welcome the new president of the organization, Carolina Jimenez. Welcome, Carolina, to this fight for peace and human rights. Congratulations to the other awardees, U.S. Representative Barbara Lee, as well as Fundación Mi Sangre, for their constant efforts in the fight for human rights in Colombia. Such an important fight. In 2016, Colombia moved forward with the signing of a peace accord, an accord that was meant to bring a lot of hope for many people. People started feeling hopeful, in fact, at the time. However, this hope started to fade as we increasingly encountered institutional obstacles along the way. Obstacles that took the shape of public policies that avoided the government's responsibility regarding the full implementation of the agreement. The agreement was meant to bring education, health, housing, basic services and opportunities for the underserved in Colombia, especially because the underserved population is made up of ethnic people. By doing so, the government showed that racism and discrimination against our peoples persisted. And I'm talking about Afro-Colombians, indigenous peoples, and Palenqueros. The agreement was not implemented either because of a worsening of conflict. We've seen a proliferation of the different armed groups disputing the different areas in Colombia, displacing social leaders. I myself was a victim of displacement, and I witnessed the 2012 Boyacá massacre. And in fact, I talk about this personal experience in a campaign organized by WOLA and known as Con Líderes iPass. I invite you all to follow us there. The Truth Commission is hopeful, and that's why we continue to investigate the disproportionate impact felt by civilians. In fact, we focus in the ethnic working group, we focus on the disproportionate impact suffered by Afro-descendants, indigenous peoples, and Palenqueros, and to show this reality to Colombia, but also the entire world. We are also working on the recommendations that we need to have in place in order to move forward and have the necessary changes in place to avoid repetition of violence. We're moving forward, and we hope that the report will be published in November. We hope that Colombians, as well as the world as a whole, will welcome and celebrate these recommendations. We are fully aware of the very important role to be played by the US government in consolidating the peace that we so much long for. That is why we hope this opportunity that we are working hard on will be validated, supported, and promoted by the US government. You cannot imagine how important it is for us to leave this war behind. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to WOLA for bringing visibility to the situation of human rights in Colombia, and we hope that all this work will help us move toward peace and reconciliation. Once again, thank you very much. Hi, I would like to thank Senator Hank Johnson for his very kind words when presenting us with this award, and also for introducing WOLA. I would also like to greet and welcome Carolina Jimenez, the new president of the organization, and I would like to congratulate the other awardees, U.S. Representative Barbara Lee, as well as Fundación Mi Sangre. I would like to congratulate them and thank them for their efforts in the fight for human rights in Colombia. As you know, Colombia signed a peace accord in 2016. This agreement is undoubtedly a key milestone in the history of my country. However, the agreement is at risk because in Colombia we continue to see violence, and there are many issues that remain unsolved, such as social and armed conflict. The Truth Commission is an entity that was created within the framework of the peace accord. Our objective is to draft a report that talks about causes and impact of armed conflict on the country. Within our work, the Truth Commission has also found out that out of the 22 territories affected by the armed conflict, 17 of them are interethnic territories that have become an epicenter of violence since the 1960s. We've also seen all sorts of crimes being committed against ethnic groups such as indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombians. The Truth Commission is working on a report about the causes of these territories being the epicenter of such violence and what were the different issues, as well as the recommendations in order to be able to move forward in solving the armed conflict in these territories. I would like to thank WOLA for bringing visibility to our work and for calling on the international community so that they can continue to support our efforts in building peace.
What's up, y'all? My name is Kendrick Sampson. I'm an actor, filmmaker, activist, co-founder of Build Power. I first encountered WOLA when I went to Colombia, and I was in crisis, experienced police brutality, and WOLA actually put out a statement online that connected what was happening to me and what was happening with police brutality in Colombia and in Latin America to U.S. support and how it's directly linked, and the movement that was happening in the United States with the uprisings against police brutality, which I was intricately connected with in organizing and protesting. I was really impressed by the actionable items and demands that were already in existence, that were highlighted and presented to the US government, and how they could intervene or how they could change the situation and put pressure on these governments to honor the human rights that they should be honoring.
Through this ceremony, WOLA honors all those men and women that have stood out in the important work of defending life and human rights. WOLA has been a key partner to Afrodis, a partner that has always shown support and solidarity whenever we've needed it. We've had a very long and fruitful relationship with WOLA that has allowed us to bring visibility to the human rights crisis and the restrictions to democratic freedoms in Venezuela, and for 5 years to the very complex humanitarian emergency that affects us. Together, we have carried out advocacy work before political actors and human rights actors in order to look for solutions to the political conflict that led to the very critical situation in Venezuela. Thank you, WOLA. Together with you, we celebrate your work, our very close relationship and cooperation that we've had for many years, as well as the friendship that brings together our employees. For more than 25 years, I have been working for Ciudadanos en Apoyo a los Derechos Humanos, ACE, CADAC. And for more than 10, we have been focusing on supporting families whose relatives have disappeared. WOLA has supported CADAC, looking for justice, looking for truth. We believe that WOLA is an organization whose strength is shared with other organizations such as ours. CADAC has been strengthened by WOLA in moments of pain, but also in moments where when we have suffered threats. WOLA is an organization that listens. WOLA is a sister organization that brings visibility to the efforts, the work, and the reality of our local communities. To WOLA, thank you for your presence, and to you, thank you for strengthening their efforts. Undoubtedly, they are helping Latin America and Mexico especially.
One of the most rewarding aspects of working at WOLA was the opportunity to meet and partner with many courageous and dedicated human rights defenders and social leaders in Central America. Their perseverance and tenacity is something I deeply respect and admire. And personally, it was a real honor to have had the opportunity to collaborate and support their fight for the rule of law.
To present our next award, I would like to introduce someone who has been a friend of WOLA since the early 1980s. Back then, he was a crusading staffer for Congressman Joe Moakley, leading efforts to bring justice for atrocities in El Salvador and helping to lay the groundwork for a peace process to end the war. No one on Capitol Hill has fought for human rights in Latin America longer or with more passion than Representative Jim McGovern. He has traveled to the region many times, often with WOLA staff, on trips ranging from remote conflict zones in Colombia to the site of the El Mozote massacre in El Salvador, to the U.S.-Mexico border. He is co-chair of the bipartisan Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission, a critical platform for calling attention to unseen abuses and systemic injustices. Since 2019, he has been chair of the powerful House Rules Committee. He is himself a former recipient of WOLA's Human Rights Award, and we are thrilled that our next honoree specifically asked that Representative Jim McGovern present this award.
Good evening, everybody. I wish we could all be back together because this is one of those moments when we'd be on our feet, raising our glasses and toasting the fabulous 2021 WOLA Human Rights honoree, the Honorable Barbara Lee. How can I possibly describe Barbara Lee? Barbara Lee is, in the words of the late Congressman John Lewis, a troublemaker. Barbara Lee is a trailblazer. Barbara Lee is the conscience of the Congress. And perhaps most important, not only is she a great person, but she is a very, very good person, a treasured friend, and an esteemed mentor that I often look to for inspiration. You know, Barbara is famous for being the only member of Congress to vote against the 2001 authorization for the use of military force that allowed the United States to go to war in Afghanistan and begin the so-called global war on terror. It was a brave vote. But for those of us who know Barbara, it was no surprise. It was a decision that emerged from her deep faith, conversations with a range of experts and trusted friends, and her own moral compass. It came from her courage and her wisdom and her commitment to always doing right, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Today, Barbara is a leading light in the struggle to end poverty here in our own country and changing the conduct of our foreign aid and policies. She's championing the fight to get U.S. aid to the Afghan people and Afghan refugees and to help those Afghans arriving to make America, our nation of immigrants, their new home. She's working every day to make sure that at-risk Afghans who are left behind by the U.S. evacuation find a way to leave the country as safely and as quickly as possible. And that's why we in Congress follow her leadership on so many matters of war and peace. Barbara is a champion of those ravaged by war, violence, and natural disaster. Those forced to live on the margins of society here in our own country. Those who suffered genocide in Darfur, Burma, Cambodia, South Sudan, and the CAR. Immigrants, refugees, the global African diaspora, indigenous peoples, LGBTQ, women, children, the old, the neglected, the persecuted. Wherever they are, there you will find Barbara Lee. Like tonight's honorees from Fundación Mi Sangre, Barbara Lee is a true visionary who understands that change is possible, that it's always possible if you put in the hard work to achieve it. In Colombia, she and our late colleague Donald Payne were among the very first to shine a light on the Afro-descendant community. She created U.S. mechanisms and aid tailored to meet the needs and priorities identified by the Afro-Colombian community, many of whom were refugees forced to leave their homes by racism and violence. So it is especially fitting that tonight WOLA is honoring both Barbara Lee and the ethnic working group of Colombia's Truth Commission. In Cuba, Barbara was among the first to focus on the neglect and the needs of Afro-Cuban women, and she has been among the staunchest in calling for an overhaul of U.S.-Cuban relations and an end to the U.S. blockade. In Haiti, Barbara has carried the banner for the poorest of the poor in the hemisphere's poorest nation. She challenged waste and corruption by aid agencies, including the U.S., that receive billions in funding with only pennies reaching Haitians on the ground. I could go on and on and on, but the point is that Barbara is not a fair-weather friend who only shows up when there's cameras present or glory to be gained. She has stood with these communities over the decades to fight for justice. She is in this for the long haul. And now she is one of the most powerful members in the U.S. Congress, committed to calling our country to a higher standard when it comes to our foreign policy and our foreign aid. You will not see Barbara Lee give up or throw in the towel. As we like to say in Massachusetts, she persists. It is my pleasure and a great honor to present to you the 2021 honoree of WOLA Human Rights Award, the most honorable, the incredible, the wonderful Barbara Lee.
Thank you so much to my colleague, Chairman, Congressman Jim McGovern, for your kind remarks in presenting this award. And thank you so much, Jim, for your tremendous leadership on so many fronts, and also especially for your friendship. I would like to also express my deepest gratitude to WOLA for this honor and give a warm welcome to WOLA's new president, Carolina Jimenez. Congratulations to the other honorees, the Ethnic Working Group for Colombia's Truth Commission, and Fundación Mi Sangre, who do such courageous work for human rights every day in Colombia. WOLA's work standing for peace and human rights in Colombia, and especially your staunch support for the rights of Black and Indigenous communities, is just one of the reasons that I so admire this organization so much. Now in the day, maybe some of you remember, maybe not, as a member of our beloved Congressman Ron Dellum's staff, and as a member of Congress now, I have worked so closely with WOLA over the many years. Time and time again, I have been impressed by WOLA's tireless advocacy for human rights and human dignity. Several years ago, I had the privilege to travel to Cuba with WOLA and members of the Congressional Black Caucus. It was an incredible and informative trip for all of us. Whether it's fighting for the rights of people who have been displaced, supporting peace in Colombia, or helping to open a new era of U.S.-Cuba relations, WOLA has been there, making an impact and helping people across this hemisphere claim their rights. Thank you to all who support WOLA and who have gathered in this virtual community to recommit ourselves to the cause of human rights in this hemisphere. Let's keep up the fight, because when we fight, we win.
Greetings. We would like to say that we are truly thankful for the support that we have been receiving for many years. WOLA has always been present on this mountain, especially over the last years where we've seen grave violations to human rights in my country. WOLA has always been paying attention, especially supporting the 43 students that disappeared in Ayotzinapa. We feel truly grateful, and we are very happy to greet you today. From the mountain, a big hug. WOLA, for me and for the Afro-Colombian people, is a strategic and historic partner. Together, we have managed to protect the individual and collective rights of the Afro-Colombian people, and we've also moved forward in the collective titling of our territories. We've also managed to include an ethnic chapter in the peace accords, and also in terms of following up on those public policies that will bring a better life to our people. It's necessary to continue to support WOLA. The world needs to know that this is an organization that supports a better life for many people in the entire world, but in this case, in the case of the Afro-Colombian people. WOLA is a historic partner that has allowed us to grow together.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Veronica Escobar, and I have the incredible privilege of representing El Paso, which is Texas' 16th Congressional District, right on the safe and secure U.S.-Mexico border. Congratulations to my beloved friend, my colleague, and El Pasoan, Barbara Lee, as well as the Colombian Truth Commission and the Mi Sangre Foundation for receiving the 2021 WOLA Human Rights Award. Your commitment to a vision of a future where human rights and social justice are at the center of society is exemplary. Your work mirrors WOLA's mission to promoting policies that protect human dignity from Mexico to Chile, and is needed as we fight to address challenges beyond our borders and work toward better solutions. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Representative Barbara Lee. If only more of our leaders had your courage to stand for peace and justice. And congratulations to the Ethnic Working Group of Colombia's Truth Commission. Know that we stand with you in your fight for truth. And to all of you in our audience, you can see from the people that we honor tonight, the leaders in Washington and in the region, what incredible partners WOLA has and what indispensable work WOLA does. I'm so moved by their stories and by their courage and by WOLA, who you are and what you stand for. I know all of you in our audience tonight share this very same passion. WOLA could not do any of this work without your support. I realize that many of you have given generously just to get us to tonight, and we thank you so much. There are two simple ways to make your gift. On your screen right now, you can see instructions for how to donate online at wola.org/Gala donate. Or you can text the following, so 41444, WOLA 21, the amount of your donation, and then your name. We have people here from all over the Americas, Guatemala, Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, and from every corner of the United States. That's one advantage of being here virtually. There's no limit to how many people can join. And there's also no limit to how many people can contribute to WOLA or how much you can give. So please, we're asking you tonight to dig a little deeper and give all that you can. We'll be tracking donations throughout the night, and we have already received some incredible and generous new gifts just this evening. I want to give a shout out to Johanna Russo, who made a gift of $1,000. Thank you so much, Johanna. Mario Moreno, who made a gift of $200. Christina Demain, thank you so much for your gift of $1,000, and the many others who have been supporting us. We have raised almost half of our goal for the night. This is incredible, y'all, but we can get there, and I know you can. This is a very special night for WOLA. We are welcoming a new president, Carolina Jimenez, and we are bidding farewell to someone who has dedicated his life to the cause of human rights. Jeff Thale. Hi, Jeff. After 26 years of brilliant, passionate, impactful work at WOLA, the last few years as president, you have more than earned your retirement. So many people wanted to pay tribute to you that we could literally spend the whole night just singing your praises. Here are a few of your colleagues to let you know just how much you're appreciated and how much you will be missed.
How on earth do you talk about Jeff Thale in a minute or less? Jeff, your whole life has been dedicated to the pursuit of social justice and human rights. And for the past 26 years, that pursuit has unfolded at WOLA, making WOLA and Latin America better.
Jeff has been an excellent director at WOLA, a fantastic partner of the Central American University, and a great friend of El Salvador. I feel truly grateful for all the work that he has carried out throughout all these years, and I wish him the greatest success in his future endeavors now that he is retiring from his job. I am certain that he will continue to keep an eye on El Salvador and the other countries in Central America, always looking for ways to support our countries so that we can have a better quality of life, a better democracy, and greater respect for human rights.
As Jeff steps away from leadership at WOLA, one thing that he leaves behind is all of the young people that he has trained over the years, and there have been a lot of them. And I watched the mentorship that he did, and it was really special, and those relationships are incredible still, I'm sure. And I think about the work that those people go on to do as part of Jeff's legacy to our whole field.
The truth is, I couldn't have done my work without Jeff. And I bet most of the people here tonight feel the same. And Jeff, while I wish you the very best in whatever you choose to do next, you will be missed, and you will be remembered, and you will probably still be called up the next time there's a crisis in the region. So, here's to you, Jeff, a mentor, an expert, a traveling companion, a colleague, but most importantly, a dear friend.
Here's to you indeed, Jeff. Congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. To present our final Human Rights Award of the evening is someone who is doing incredibly innovative work for civic engagement, helping to empower marginalized voices and to bring renewed vitality to democracy. Today, across the Americas, civic space is threatened. We're seeing the rise of authoritarian leaders, massive disinformation campaigns, and brutal crackdowns on the basic rights of free speech. That's why WOLA is so proud to work with the global philanthropy organization, Luminate, whose mission it is to help people participate in the issues affecting their own lives and make those in power more accountable. With us tonight is Felipe Estefan, who heads Luminate's efforts in Latin America. He is a leading strategist on open government and in the fields of independent media, data and digital rights, and financial transparency. In his past career at the World Bank, he traveled to more than 40 countries around the globe, working on the cutting edge of these issues. Having grown up in Colombia, he knows firsthand the power of young voices in shaping the landscape of a better future.
Thank you so much, Gina, for that kind introduction. Good evening. Buenas noches. I'd first like to start by extending my warm welcome to WOLA's new president, Dr. Carolina Jimenez. She brings the vision and experience needed to lead WOLA at this critical moment for human rights in the Americas, a moment where we all need to come together and stay engaged in order to co-create a more just and equitable world for all. I am incredibly inspired by the work of our next honoree. This organization is empowering a new generation of young activists and entrepreneurs in Colombia. By giving young people the tools they need to tap into their creativity and innovation, Fundación Mi Sangre is helping build a culture of peace in a country that has known war for far too long. When I was growing up in Colombia, peace seemed like an unreachable dream, and politics was a space completely devoid of the energy and the ideas of young people. Thanks to Fundación Mi Sangre, young leaders across Colombia are learning that they have the power to build happier, healthier, and more peaceful lives for themselves, their families, and their communities. They are also gaining the tools and the knowledge to be active participants in the decisions that impact their lives and the future of Colombia. We have two incredible people joining us tonight accepting the award on behalf of Fundación Mi Sangre. Catalina Koch-Duque is the co-founder and director, a sociologist and political scientist by training who has dedicated her career to advancing social justice in Colombia. Her compassionate and groundbreaking leadership as a social entrepreneur is truly one of a kind. And we also have co-founder Juan Esteban Aristizabal. You probably know him better as Juanes, an award-winning and record-breaking artist and musician whose career exemplifies passion, creativity, and dedication to community. Thanks to the work of everyone at Fundación Mi Sangre, there's a new generation of change agents across Colombia who are leading the way towards a future that's more peaceful, more hopeful, and more filled with joy. It is my honor to present WOLA's 2021 Human Rights Award to Fundación Mi Sangre.
Thank you, WOLA, for this award and for your work defending peace and human rights in Colombia. We in Fundación Mi Sangre, like you, also believe that peace is possible. For many decades, we witnessed how Colombia was associated with words such as pain, war, death, but we've also witnessed resilience, creativity, and the capacity to overcome barriers. We've been inspired by all this when carrying out our work. We saw in the victims a unique and inspiring force to write this new history of Colombia, especially in the new generations. They are everything we need so that our reality is narrated in a different way. And this is how we have been working for 15 years. We have been carrying out tireless efforts in all regions in the country, activating ecosystems and building capacity so that the new generations are the main actors in building a new peace. We believe in the transformative power of young people. That's why we strengthen their leadership, their capacity. We connect them to a national network of leaders, and we support their initiatives. We recognize that they are not the future, but the present of our country. For years, we've actually witnessed how young people, when they feel recognized, when they experience their own power to change, they become peace builders. We have seen them leading efforts in their neighborhoods, in their communities, and we've seen them also carry out advocacy work in the public agenda. But above all, we've seen how they themselves have changed, because before we change the world, we change our world. We believe that building peace starts with each one of us. That's why in our projects, in our programs, we strengthen life skills, entrepreneurship skills, as well as social leadership. And that way we contribute to a country that respects life in all its forms and that promotes love, equity, freedom, diversity, civic participation, and shared responsibility. On behalf of the more than 1.5 million people that have crossed paths with us, thank you. Thank you to all of those that support organizations such as ours and that are here in this virtual event, renewing their commitment to peace and human rights. Thank you.
Felicidades de Fundación Mi Sangre. And thank you, Catalina and the incomparable Juanes, for sharing your heart and soul with the young people of Colombia. And congratulations to all our honorees. You truly inspire me. I'm passionate about my Latin roots and about my connections to the people of Latin America. When I traveled to El Salvador, I began to see the world differently. Something changed in me. Through my music and my work with these young girls from that country, I do all I can to make a difference. And being part of the WOLA community helps me take that passion even further. WOLA makes a difference in ways that I cannot on my own. In the halls of the US Congress or the White House, and with partners on the ground like those that we have met tonight, WOLA goes where I cannot go, with expertise and strategies and commitment, connections, and courage. And so I'm asking one more time, please support this amazing work. You can donate online right now at wola.org/Gala donate. And you can also donate through texting with your phone. And I know that you have your phone right next to you right now. There are no excuses. Y'all, so prior to the event, we raised $275,000. And tonight, we have raised more than $17,000. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't help us get to that $300,000 mark. And we're so close. So don't make me pause this whole thing just so we can get there. Come on, y'all. You know we can do it. You can help us reach our goal tonight by digging a little deeper. These are really tough times. But WOLA is undaunted. If you support WOLA's work, if you want to welcome Carolina Jimenez as WOLA's new president, be part of this amazing new era for WOLA, be bold, be generous. Or if you want to honor Jeff Thale for his decades of dedication, then show your gratitude by donating tonight. If you're inspired by the struggle of social leaders like Lenar Palacios and Patricia Tobón, who risk their lives for truth so that Black and Indigenous communities in Colombia can pursue justice, then show that you stand with them. If you want to honor Representative Barbara Lee for the courageous stands that she has taken for peace, then show that you believe her when she says, let's keep up the fight, because when we fight, we win. No donation is too small. I encourage you to dig deep, because WOLA does keep up the fight every hour of every day. I remember when I performed at WOLA's Human Rights Award ceremony a few years ago, one of that year's honorees, Congressman George Miller, put it bluntly. He said, WOLA donors get more bang for their buck than at any other organization. And y'all, it's so true. This is such a testimony to WOLA's impact. I have learned so much listening to these voices tonight, the honorees, the testimonials, the presenters, all who put their faith in WOLA. And I want to blend my own voice with theirs. I'm proud to be here tonight to support WOLA, and with so many of you who have done so much for human rights in the Americas for almost 50 years. It has been a truly unforgettable night. And it's been a thrill to be with you here from Austin. In just a minute, I'll be back with a musical performance to close out the show with my entire band. But before I go, let me thank you all from the bottom of my heart and give a warm abrazo to WOLA's new president, Carolina Jimenez.
Gracias, Gina. Thank you for being with us tonight. You are an incredible MC, and we look forward to seeing and hearing you in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Carolina. It's been such an honor and a pleasure.
Congratulations to all our honorees, the Ethnic Working Group of Colombia's Truth Commission, Representative Barbara Lee, and Fundación Mi Sangre. We take heart from your courage and your inspiring words. You honor us with your presence here tonight. Thank you to our special guests, Representative Hank Johnson, Representative Jim McGovern, Felipe Stefan from Luminate, and everyone who gave such a beautiful testimonials to WOLA's work. Before we close our event tonight, I especially want to thank my predecessor, Jeff Thale, for his decades at WOLA and for showing me the way during the past few weeks. We wish you a happy retirement, Jeff, but don't go too far. We will be turning to you for guidance in the years to come. Jeff, gracias de todo corazón por tu trabajo por América Latina durante todos estos años. And finally, thanks to all of you who have joined us tonight and have given so generously. I am excited to be leading WOLA as its new president. I have known many of you in this amazing WOLA community as partners and friends. Many of you I will be meeting for the first time in the months to come. And in just a few years, together we will celebrate WOLA's 50th anniversary. Let us continue to join hands on the path to transform our continent into a place where human rights prevail. Now, for one last time, here is Gina Chavez performing her amazing and uplifting Grammy-nominated song, La que Manda. Thank you. Gracias por habernos acompañado esta noche.
Antes escondía mis fuerzas, antes enterraba ¿Quién manda? Ella manda. ¿Quién manda? Ella manda. ¿Quién manda? Ella manda. Si alguien te pregunta de que yo soy la que manda, ya camino donde quiero y a mi propio ritmo voy. Si vienes bien, si no también soy feliz con lo que soy. Solía compararme con otros, solía temer las consecuencias, solía no creer en mí misma. Ahora soy un fuego abrasador. Yo soy la que manda. ¿Quién soy? Yo soy la que manda. ¿Quién soy? Yo soy la